250,000. Take a moment to let that number settle in. That's roughly the population of a modern American city like Boise, Idaho, or Richmond, Virginia, all gone in a matter of minutes. In the 6th century, Antioch was one of the most important cities in the world. Think of it as the New York City of the ancient Mediterranean. It was a thriving hub on the Silk Road, filled with grand marble buildings, street lighting, a rare luxury back then, basilicas, amphitheaters, and multi-story apartment buildings. The city was especially crowded that week. It was the time of the Ascension Day festival, drawing thousands of visitors and pilgrims. The streets were full of life, merchants, and worshippers, but beneath their feet, something far more powerful was building. Antioch sat in a geologically active zone known as a triple junction, where the African, Arabian, and Anatolian tectonic plates meet. These massive plates grind against each other, building up enormous pressure over decades. When that pressure is suddenly released, it creates a seismic rupture. Modern estimates place the 526 earthquake at around magnitude 7.0. While not the highest magnitude ever recorded, the combination of location, soil conditions, and building styles made its impact devastating. On that mid-morning in late May, the first sign was the P wave, a fast compressional wave that travels through the ground like a sudden jolt. For the people of Antioch, it was just a few seconds of confusion. Then came the stronger S waves, which moved the earth side to side and up and down. Because the city was built on soft river valley sediments, soil liquefaction occurred. The ground temporarily behaved more like a liquid than solid soil, causing foundations to lose support. Many heavy stone buildings, including multi-story insulae, apartment blocks, suffered severe collapses. The rigid masonry used in Roman Byzantine construction had little flexibility, so structures that stood for centuries came down quickly in what engineers today call pancake-style failures. Narrow streets became blocked with fallen debris, trapping many people under rubble. The earthquake alone caused massive destruction, but the situation worsened when fires broke out. In an era when every home relied on open flames for cooking and lighting, collapsed buildings quickly spread fire through wooden beams and debris. Strong winds and the heat from multiple ignition points created intense fire conditions that burned for days. Rescue efforts were extremely difficult in the chaos, with limited water supply after aqueducts were damaged. Many who survived the initial shaking faced additional challenges from the spreading fires and collapsing structures. For the survivors, this was more than a natural disaster. It was a profound shock to their worldview. Antioch was a major center of early Christianity, where followers of Jesus were first called Christians. The destruction of its famous churches, including the Great Church, Octagon, was seen by many as a sign of divine judgment or the end times. Reports from the time, including from chronicler John Malalas, a local of Antioch, mentions strange luminous phenomena in the sky, something modern seismologists study as possible earthquake lights caused by electrical charges generated in stressed rocks. To people in the 6th century, these appeared as mysterious signs. The immediate aftermath left the city in ruins, with aftershocks continuing for over a year. Many survivors were hesitant to return to permanent structures, living in temporary shelters out of fear. But the story doesn't end with the shaking and fires. What happened when the smoke finally cleared? How did this single event affect the entire Byzantine Empire, economically, politically, and psychologically? As the fires in Antioch gradually died down in late May, 526 AD, a heavy silence settled over the Orontes River Valley. For centuries, Antioch had been a bustling center of trade, faith, and daily life. Now, the once vibrant city lay largely in ruins, with only the sounds of shifting debris and the wind remaining. The immediate challenges went far beyond the initial shaking. In modern disaster medicine, we recognize conditions like crush syndrome, where prolonged compression of limbs under heavy debris can lead to serious complications once pressure is released. Toxins from damaged muscle tissue can enter the bloodstream, potentially causing kidney issues or other systemic problems. In the 6th century, without today's medical understanding, many who were pulled from the rubble faced unexpected health difficulties in the hours and days that followed. Survivors also described unusual sights, including luminous clouds or glowing lights in the sky. Chronicler John Malalas recorded these accounts. While ancient observers often interpreted such events through a religious lens, modern seismology offers a natural explanation. Earthquake lights. Under extreme tectonic stress, certain rocks can generate electrical charges that ionize the air, sometimes producing glowing effects or floating lights. These rare phenomena have been documented in other earthquakes as well, helping us better understand the powerful forces at work deep within the earth. The destruction struck at the heart of the Byzantine Empire. Antioch was not just a major city. It was a key center of early Christianity, where followers of Jesus were first called Christians. The loss of its grand churches, including the famous Octagon, deeply affected people's sense of stability and faith. Many survivors experienced profound trauma. Accounts describe people avoiding permanent structures for years, preferring to live in temporary shelters due to ongoing fear. This reaction was understandable, as a series of aftershocks continued for more than a year, serving as constant reminders of the region's geological instability. Word of the disaster eventually reached Emperor Justinian I in Constantinople. Justinian, who aimed to restore the glory of the Roman Empire, faced a significant challenge. The loss affected tax revenue, trade routes, including connections to the Silk Road, and the overall strength of the eastern provinces. Historical records note that the emperor showed public mourning and took practical steps to support recovery. He directed resources toward aid and rebuilding efforts, recognizing the strategic importance of the Queen of the East. Justinian invested heavily in reconstruction. The city was renamed Theopolis, City of God, in an effort to reflect hope and resilience. New churches, infrastructure, and public buildings were planned and constructed. However, the rebuilding largely followed similar architectural approaches and locations as before. The same heavy masonry techniques were used, and the city remained situated in the same geologically active zone. Just over a decade later, in 540 AD, the region faced further difficulties, including a Persian invasion that targeted the weakened city. Around the same time, the Justinianic plague, an outbreak of bubonic plague, spread through the empire. Some researchers have noted that the earthquake's aftermath, including disrupted infrastructure, displacement of populations, and challenges with sanitation, may have created conditions that contributed to the spread of disease, though direct causation is complex and debated among historians. In February 2023, a major magnitude 7.8 earthquake struck the same general region in modern-day Turkey and Syria, causing widespread destruction and highlighting similar challenges, building on soft soils, rigid construction styles, and the risks of aftershocks. Geologists refer to concepts like return periods, statistical estimates of how frequently large earthquakes occur on specific faults. These events happen on cycles spanning hundreds or even thousands of years. The 526 Antioch earthquake serves as a reminder that the Earth's tectonic activity continues, regardless of human plans. With growing global populations and denser cities, the potential impact of future seismic events is a serious consideration for engineers, planners, and policymakers. Modern science gives us tools, better building codes, early warning systems, and materials that allow structures to flex rather than shatter, that were unavailable in the 6th century. The story of Antioch shows that we do not fully control the land we build upon. We are residents on a dynamic planet shaped by powerful geological forces. By studying the past, we can make informed choices about where and how we construct our communities, aiming to reduce risks for future generations. The estimated losses in 526 AD represent an enormous human tragedy. Each life affected belonged to someone who lived, worked, and hoped under the Mediterranean sun. Layers of sediment and later construction now cover much of ancient Antioch, but geological evidence, such as disturbed soil layers called seismites, preserves a record of that violent episode. As we look at our own cities and infrastructure in 2026, the question remains: are we applying the hard-earned lessons from history? The tectonic plates continue their slow movement. The tension builds gradually. Understanding events like the Antioch earthquake helps us approach the future with greater awareness and preparedness. The Earth has a long memory. By listening to what it tells us through science and history, we have the opportunity to build more resilient communities, not just for ourselves, but for those who will come after us.